One of the comments Steph made tonight is he feels like the focus is really good just collectively right now. I'm just curious, do you agree, and where are you seeing that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. You're just starting to see it on both ends. We're starting to connect the game. Our turnovers are starting to be a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing, a good thing. We're rebounding the ball pretty well. So just those are focus things. You give up box outs. You turn the ball over, careless passes. Those are all focus things, and I think we're doing a much better job of focusing on the task at hand, understanding the game plan, and executing it.
Steve also said he felt you specifically had, been part of that. How much more focused did you feel maybe necessarily than you were?
I feel, just taking less chances. Coach came to me. He was just like, yo, we're going to keep putting the ball in your hand, but, you have a responsibility to take care of it. And we're not the team that we used to be where you can kind of take those chances. The league has changed. Teams feast off those turnovers. And so you just try to take less chances than I was taking. And, I heard it, took it to heart. But overall, just trying to focus in on everything, not just the turnovers, just myself, this team, what's going well, what's not going well, trying to figure out things to, be the player that I can be for this team, the leader that I can be for this team. So, it's definitely a concerted effort.
Draymond, you and Steph and Jimmy have all kind of talked up your teammates for most of the season that they can be good for you guys. When you get a night like tonight where Melt comes through and Al comes through, what does that mean to have those two guys step up and maybe any of those guys on a random night?
Well, those two guys in particular have been out, and those are two guys that connects our lineups. And, so with Al missing the amount of games that he's missed, but then also being on the restrictions that he was on, Melt, he played 25 minutes tonight. Starting to see that climb. He's starting to get his legs underneath him. So, Guy Santos was huge, by the way. He had 2 points again, and dominating games with his effort, and his brain. It's been huge. So it's always great to have those guys stepping up because, like we've said all year, we need those guys to win. It's not just going to be an effort of us three doing it, and that's the answer. That's never been the answer. When you look at teams that think that's the answer, they've been wrong every time. So we depend on our guys, we trust our guys, and they've been coming through.
Draymond, how much personal pride in year 14 do you still take in these kind of matchups against someone like Giannis?
I take a lot of pride in them because it's an honor. It's an honor to play against great players in this league. Giannis is one of the all-time greats in this league and at my position, And so anytime you have the opportunity for myself, I love that challenge, Sometimes you're going to get absolutely annihilated, and it's okay. Sometimes I'll get the better of him, sometimes he'll get the better of me, but most importantly, there's a respect, there's an appreciation for the competition that's brought to the floor. So it's an honor. I don't take those matchups lightly. I don't, I'm in 14th year. I don't think I'm at the end, but you never know when this thing changes or when that's it, And so anytime I get an opportunity to match up against the greats like Giannis, it's always an honor, and I cherish the opportunities.
Draymond, following up sort of Monty's question, specifically on Melt, you mentioned sort of connecting the game, but even last year when he only played a handful of games with you, it seemed like you guys knew he fit with the way you played.
1,000%.
Why? What about his game meshes with
He's a secondary ball handler, which is great for us. He is a point-of-attack defender. Just understands the game. He's always in the right spot. He obviously can knock the shots down. The shots have been going early, as he's been working his way back and getting his legs underneath him. And you're starting to see now, he got his legs back. You see he can have somebody at the top of the key and just blew by him and got a layup today, right? You're starting to see him look like Melt. But, when you've done it as many times as we've done it, you know what it looks like. So you can see right away last year. What did he play, 5 games? Was it last year? 2 years ago? 2 years ago. Last year? Jesus. Whew. God. Yeah, 6 games, and you could see it right then, like just the way things worked when he was on the floor. And then on the flip side, when he went out, we went to, so you could see it. Sorry, NBA. I'm just honest. Sorry.
Draymond, going back to your defense, obviously in the last 10 years or even all time, you're one of the greatest defenders. But talking about right now, do you still feel you're one of the top 10 in the league at defending?
I think that would be an understatement. Top 10 seems a little low, but top 10 gets me on an all-defensive team, so I'll take that. But yeah, I think I can still compete at the highest of levels, I believe. I think my knowledge and understanding of the game helps me out quite a bit. I can kind of be a step ahead of guys most of the time. So yeah, top 5. 1, 2, maybe 3, or 2. Possibly 1. No, I'm just playing.
Draymond, Steve was saying before the game his mom was really upset with him after getting tossed the other night. What moment in your basketball career has your mom been the most upset with you at?
When you are focused, no one can beat us. She texted me today. She texted me Monday. Remember what you love and stop abusing it. She texted me Saturday. Have a great game. Stay focused. Love you. And then as I got ejected, she texted me, what happened? And I text back, no response. So it's still a common thing. Every game, she's on me about not getting thrown out of games and being locked in and focused and bringing what I can bring to the basketball court without all the nonsense. So I get it. I'm happy she got at Steve. That's great.
Is there one you remember through the years more than any other?
No, because my mom's pretty intense. You ever seen her on internet? She can be a lot. So. Like she told me the other day, we need to have a heart-to-heart. I've been avoiding her ever since. So
there's an apple in tree.
So I get it. I am very much so still afraid of my mom. I don't know if that'll ever change. So I'm still ducking that heart-to-heart. I'm trying to play a few more good games before we have it. Then the conversation might change a little bit. I'm terrified of my mom, still to this day.
Based on that last conversation about top 10 defensive player, we've talked a little bit in the past about how much more goes into defense than statistics. But what defensive statistics do you like?
If I'm honest with you, I don't really know many of them. I know I don't get off into them. I kind of judge off the eye test, because numbers, we got a lot of numbers in this league. Some of them can be a bit deceiving. Some of the worst defenders in history has led the league in steals. It's just the nature of the game that we play, So I don't know many of the defensive statistics because I don't really get off into them. I know who's a good defender. I know who's a bad defender. I know how to exploit a defender. I know we should probably get that guy out of this action, but I don't really the stats just don't always tell the story, so I don't get caught up in them. I kind of watch, and you could have a guy who's off the charts in the stats, and Steph we're gonna put this dude in every action, right? And exploit it, and you're like, but this dude off the charts on these stats, And so I don't really get off into them, and I don't know many of them other than my good old eye.